up, Woody Nerdigans? This is the one and only Packer Girl 89 of Nerdigans, and today's Manga Nerdigan live reaction video is going to be for Undead Unluck Chapter 228. But before I get into this recap and live reaction, we are at war with YouTube's algorithm, and it is slowly but surely killing my channel, and in order to defeat this algorithmic beast, we need you to please hit that like, share, and subscribe buttons. And because, of course, this channel, let alone this video, are not sponsored. And we ain't sponsored by Shueisha, and we ain't sponsored by Manga Plus, and we ain't sponsored by Viz. And considering how much we promote Manga Plus on this channel, it's kind of surprising, right? But if you love what we're doing and want to help keep me, my adorable Willow Bubba Kitty, who's somewhere around here and not being a bad kid, he better be being a good kitty right now, and this operation literally alive and kicking, so we could keep bringing you more anime and manga content, whether it be news, analysis, or live reactions like this one. Feel free to hit up our Cash App and PayPal. Links are in the description box below, as well as the link to our Patreon, where we are doing our anime live reaction content, because unlike YouTube, where we are constantly worried about getting a copyright strike for showing anything on the screen, well, Patreon, we don't have to worry about that. So I can have my full setup of the anime and manga side by side, as well as have the audio to boot, which is not only great for busting a botched localization or two, but it's fantastic for covering anime original content such as Dragon Ball Daima or Bleach Thousand Year Blood War, which we do have the first episode available for free on Patreon. And the more views and subscribers we get for Patreon, the more anime we'll cover. And hell, if you're a $10 tier subscriber, you get to choose the series we cover as well. And there's a Stackfall anime season in full swing and more anime on the way. So please check out our Patreon. The link is in the description box below. So, man, Undead Unluck is really getting good, because we're getting more fights against the Master Rules, including Gina's fight against Change. And, well, even after losing an arm, she's going for it. So let's get to this chapter, see what's in store for us this week. Is totally unreachable. And this chapter is titled Strength is about not change, even if that person were to die? What in the world are you talking about? Master rules are the rules of this world instilled by God. As long as you all live in this world, negating them is not an option. Growing old is a wonderful thing. And I love Change here. She is so beautiful. Growing old is a wonderful thing. My rule of time causes people to grow old, become ineffectual, and without claiming any lives, give up their seats to the new generation. Accept it. You humans have that saying, don't you? Old soldiers never die. They simply fade away. Fade away. You no longer have a purpose. Woo! I like this aging as a master rule, because this is really good. I'm going to read this here again, because this is a powerful line. My rule of time causes people to grow old, become ineffectual, and without claiming any lives, give up their seats to the new generation. This is technically you are claiming lives in a way, but still, accept it. You humans have that saying, don't you? Old soldiers never die. They simply fade away. Technically, they still die, but yeah. Fade away. You no longer have a purpose. Fuck off, bro. You've always grown. You've already grown 30 years older. It's only a matter of time before you turn elderly. Boy, talk about boring. Why would they make such a pathetic rule? Why would they make such a pathetic rule one of the world's absolutes? We got plenty of purpose left in our lives. A rule like never going hungry or looking forward to wearing pretty clothes would be better. But here's the thing, though, that I've noticed, and you've probably noticed this too. With your parents, if your parents are like baby boomers, or even your grandparents that were part of, that grew up in the Great Depression. And hell, you've noticed it in Hollywood too. A lot of these older actors, they don't want to fade away. They refuse to fade away. Why? Because they want to have a purpose. Like, for example, my stepdad's a great example of this. My stepdad, when he retired, he felt like he didn't have a purpose, and it drove him nuts because he had his routine of getting up early in the morning and driving to work and working all day. My late grandpa, was the same way. My grandpa worked as a dentist until I want to say his mid 70s because and he was a stubborn asshole, but a stubborn curmudgeon asshole. But like he did it because he needed to have a purpose. That's how a lot of the older generation is, and I feel like that too. I feel like I need to have a purpose. All of us feel like we need to have a purpose in life. And yeah, and fuck, look at Congress. Motherfuckers are staying there until their 90s. Most of it is out of greed, but a good chunk of a lot of people, just especially again the older generation, they don't want to go out quietly. They want to have a purpose. I'm just saying. Kaboku, you possess this technique, and yet you still haven't realized why the concept of attack came to be and why violence turned into martial arts? Well, that's obvious. A no-brainer. There is only one reason. We may have to grow old and die along with them, but there is always someone we want to protect. That is very true. I see. That's the difference then. But yeah, there's the same thing with violence and martial arts. Yeah, but there's violence just because. And there's violence that because you have no other choice. You have to use violence to protect from those assholes that are attacking you. Just saying. It's just how it is sometimes. Let's hit it, Mui. Roger, or let's see, Zoidal. There we go. Yi, san, si, wui, liu, ki. Dude, this art is fabulous. Jurokai, Zanko, 16 cycle mountain strike. Ooh. Zizi, thank you, Mui, my dear. Oh, and they've gotten old. Look at this. They've gotten so old through this. Thank you, Mui, my dear, for growing old with me. Okay, let's get to Julia. I saw that soul guy enter the base. Let's help. Indeed, wonderful. It seems God chose a fine set of rules. God chose, in the loop, master rules that would never change. The 100 rules. Ooh, time phase 3. Damn! Time phase 3 is hot. That make human behavior more interesting. He grew young, and we are the 10 superior rules among them. In the beginning, there was soul. He never moved, and so God grew bored. Ergo, he added death. And by doing so, God ensured individuals would have to entrust things to the next in line. Adding change. Adding change was the beginning of emphasizing the individual. Adding luck created gaps between individual success. Adding justice birthed free will. And out of that came independence. Dude, this is so sick. Justice Phase 3 is so fucking sick. Adding war led to bitter conflicts to protect individuals. Dude, war is fucking fire. Oh my god. Adding time introduced panic and the hope to grow in a limited amount of time. And before I forget, this whole thing with Moi and Shen fighting together as they grew older, and they grew old in this period of time, what this totally makes me think of, it makes me think of what we saw in Twin Star Exorcist in particular. Near the final part of Twin Star Exorcist when Rokuro and Benio were in the King of Kagari and going through the King of Kagari's memories, and they were growing old throughout that time period. Yeah, that's what this gives me. But anyways, adding beasts led humans to view themselves as special. Adding language smoothed out all their previous changes and hastened growth and degeneration. And with sickness, God regulated the overabundant number of lives that had come into being. Essentially, the master rules are the very rules of the game. This game designed by God to force humans into action. Another foe. I suppose I talked too much. It appears choosing to wait and see was the right call. Thanks to you having your time sapped away. You son of a... This time, Monster and I could go head to head without holding back. Fang, you're unfazed. If you had fought him from the start, then we wouldn't be a proud loser. You could have taken him. I'll handle the rest. You can move however you like. I plan on doing that. Just that, Master Moron. You're not going anywhere. Are you out of your mind? Who'd be dumb enough to look away when faced with someone stronger than them? Yeah, dude, I knew that Fang would be the perfect matchup for this motherfucker. Because remember, he does have Unfade. Well, we'll leave him to Fang. He'll be unable to negate that guy's ability with Unfade. No, Master Shen. She's not growing old. I believe Master Fang just transferred Unfade to her. Time with your death. My martial arts will be complete. Strength is about accepting growing old and bequeathing legacies. You run geezer, always trying to show off. That's the part of you you're aging, and yet that's the part of you I truthfully hate the most. Ooh, now the lone master. I understand why he did this. Why Fang did this is because he's like, dude, I finally found someone stronger than me. And you know what? Because I found, well, not only that, because he wanted to save, deep down he knew he cared about Mui and Shen. And I think he knew that if he didn't give Unfade to Mui, that she was gonna die. So it was like a kill two birds with one stone kind of thing. And also, it kind of goes back to what Time said, right? About what he was saying about how old soldiers. I'm going to go back to what he said about that saying because I think that's really important for this. Where is this? Old soldiers never die; they simply fade away. Fade away, and you no longer have a purpose. That should have been the foreshadowing of Fang coming in, because he is an old soldier, and he never died. Technically, he's going to fade away. He will fade away. But he does have a purpose because of this right here. Because of what Fang said here. We may have to grow old and die along with them, but there's always someone we want to protect. And what Fang wanted to protect, I think it might have been at this moment right here where Fang transferred Unfade to Mui. I think Fang, you've got to wonder if Fang got touched by what Shen said here. Like, that really hit him. Especially this part right here. And let me read this part here, because I think this answer right here is why Fang did what he did. Is you possess this technique, and yet you still haven't realized why the concept of attacking came to be and why violence turned into martial arts? Well, that's obvious, a no-brainer. There's only one reason. We may have to grow old and die along with them, but there's always someone we want to protect. And I think that right there is why Fang gave Unfade to Mui at that moment. And not just that, and why he, going back to hear what Fang said, was this. Time with your death, my martial arts will be complete. Strength is about accepting growing old and bequeathing legacies, which in this case, he said, accepting growing old and bequeathing legacies, and he's bequeathing his legacy to Shen. and Fang's aging, but he's accepting it. He's ready to accept. He's ready, and Fang is ready to let go. One, because he found a really strong opponent to fight. He wanted to fight God, but I think ultimately, just thinking about it even more, like Time was the opponent that is his. Well, obviously, Time is the perfect opponent for him, overcoming age and overcoming time, because from his negation ability was unfade, and now he's fighting it. He is ready to confront it, and he has accepted. This is so powerful. Just think about it. It's so powerful what Fang is doing, and like chapters like this are why I love Undead Unluck. This feels like the Undead Unluck, because now I'm getting emotional, because this is the Undead Unluck that I fell in love with. This is like writing like this, where Fang feels like he can accept aging and bequeathing his legacy to Shen, and it's because Shen remembered the lessons that he taught him, and the moment he said that, he's like, yeah, I'm ready to do it. And the other thing that I really liked about this chapter, though, now that I've said that, is the purpose of the master rules. And I want to read this part again in particular, because I fucking love this. This is what I wanted for the longest time, of how the master rules are connected and how they came to be. This is genius. Let's see. And also here, when he said, when Shen said, "Thank you, Moy, my dear, for growing old with me," yeah, you could definitely tell that this is when Unfade was put in there. But here we go. This is the 100 rules that make human behavior more interesting. And Time Phase 3 is so fucking hot. In the beginning, there was soul. He never moved. And so God grew bored. Ergo, he added death. And by doing so, God ensured individuals would have to entrust things into the next line. Which, again, this connects to Fang, right? Fang is no longer afraid of death. Because of what Time said. Time said, the moment Time said that, Fang's like, dude, that's interesting. I'm bored. I want something interesting, and death sounds interesting. Adding change was the beginning of emphasizing the individual, which Fang likes being an individual. Shit, I like being an individual. Adding luck created gaps between individual success. And I love this. I love how this is all connected. Adding justice birthed free will. This, I think, is very interesting. Adding justice birthed free will. And out of that came independence. Now that's very interesting. That justice birthed free will, and out of that came independence. And with that came war. And I think I understand what he means by this. With justice, adding justice created free will, because everyone's version of justice is different, because it's all based on their perspective. And with that came independence. And it added war. And which led to bitter conflicts to protect individuals. Dude, Fang is the embodiment of this, isn't he? Yep. Adding time introduced panic and the hope to grow in a limited amount of time. Dude, this is totally the embodiment of what Fang is doing, isn't it? See, this chapter is genius. Adding beasts led humans to view themselves as special. Dude, this describes Fang to a T, doesn't it? Adding language smoothed out all the previous changes and hastened growth and degeneration. And remember, in terms of, Dude, is that why Fang in particular was in the language? Remember that language game that we saw? Remember, Fang was there. And with sickness, God regulated the overabundant number of lives that had come into being. Essentially, the master rules are the very rules of this game, designed by God to force humans into action. And that's when Fang came into action! Another foe, I suppose. I suppose I talked too much, and it appears choosing to wait and see was the right call. Thanks to you having your time sapped away, this monster and I can go head to head without holding back. Let's see. I understand, but Fang, I understand why Fang did this. Like, there's multiple reasons why. There's the other reason why in this case as well. Is time, he wanted time to hit phase 3 to boot. But there's this too. Who'd be dumb enough to look away when faced with someone stronger than him? But strength is, I love this line, strength is about accepting, growing old, and bequeathing legacies. God. But this, though, you're aging, but what time is saying, you're aging, and yet, guess what? He's not fading away. It's very interesting that Fang is defying what he said. Remember, he said that old soldiers fade away. And he's not fading away. It's very interesting. And remember what I said, that like a lot of people that are older, especially nowadays, they refuse to fade away. They go down swinging, and that's what Fang's doing. This chapter is so powerful, man. I love how all of this is connected. Man, I want to know what you guys think, though. I feel like, in terms of the Moi and Shen content versus time, I think that content in particular could have been a little bit longer. Because what I would, and I'm hoping we'll get this next week, is I would like to see a full-on flashback of Fang, Shen, and Moi's time together, and have it all lead up to this moment. I think if we get that here, I think then this fight will probably, this fight we're getting here with Fang and Time will probably be one of the best fights in the series. Because right now, to me, this fight is just I wish we would have just had a little bit more with Shen, Time, and Moi, just a little bit more. Maybe if we would have had like a few pages, like if we would have gotten to see the start of this fight with Time, Shen, and Moi, I think I would have enjoyed this a little bit more. But other than that, in terms of their portion of the fight, but other than that, I'm very, very pleased with what we're getting so far with this content. Like, man, I'm very curious. Undead Unluck fans, I'm so curious what you guys think of this chapter. To me, this is an Undead Unluck chapter. This is a chapter that reminded me of, as I said, reminded me of why I love this manga. I'm hoping, as I said, I'm hoping next week that we're staying in this fight for one thing, and maybe get like, give me 2 chapters, maybe 2 more chapters of this fight, and have one of them consist of a flashback of Shen, Moi, and Fang's time together that like kind of foreshadow this moment. Just give me that, and I will be happy with this fight. And have like an emotional moment leading up to this death. But let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, what you guys think of this chapter. Do you guys think that, like, this in particular, and hell, even the Apocalypse chapter that we had with Julia / Louise, feel like those two chapters in particular feel like Undead Unluck chapters? Like classic Undead Unluck chapters like I do? Like, these feel like Undead Unluck chapters. I want more of this. Please. Please give me more of this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Nerdigans Inc. Love what we're doing and want to help keep this operation alive and kicking so we can keep bringing you more Undead Unluck content. A few ways you could do that: donate to our Cash App, PayPal, Patreon, purchase something off our Amazon wishlist, all that's in the description box below. Also, make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Discord, friend us on PlayStation Network, that's in the description box below as well. And until next time, Nerdigans, I will be seeing you later. Bye.